everybody, my name is Hunter, and today I'm going to do like a little story of my own creation. This one will be about the Dread Duckies inside of Dark Deception. Now, here is what I think. I think before these little Dread Duckies, I think that these little guys, they were good in the past. Like mostly with their traffic cone with their traffic cone on their head. Like they must be like little traffic men. And that little thing used to be like a little Halloween thing maybe. But then after Malik takes control over them, they became evil and started to attack the city. Now they might not have blood on them, but that brown stuff might actually be the blood of the innocent. But then they must have somehow got them into the sewers, which is where you play as the mortal. And then over time, in the war that happened, and against humans and the Dread Duckies, they must have gotten a crack on each. Mostly crackers on each one, and then they began to rot away in the sewers. And then and they still had souls coming in, more mortals dying in the sewers. And so after the Dread Ducky has got I think that besides Malik controlling them, I think that they listened to the boss Dread Ducky. Like when I say boss one, I mean like that giant one. Okay, that giant Dread Ducky. Here's some fan art of one right there. I think that they did good. And then we have more. That's the one without a cone. Yeah, and that's how they look. Right there. They look weird. Now these little guys, the murder monkeys. As you can see, before they were the murder monkeys that they are, they were like little animatronic employees. And how do I say it? Because look at the first image. Not the big one, the small one right there. You see it like a little crank. But it is besides the crank and the big animatronics. Before, of course, they were nice. They were living in a hotel. And they were mostly doing everything. And they were actually pretty good employees, I must say. Because the place is actually clean. You know, when you play Dark Deception. And the murder monkeys are actually the first level. I love it. Now, but when Malik took control, they must have used their teeth to chomp their heads off before becoming soul shards that they are. But even though that they chop their heads off or body bits, they probably got their tensions back after Malik stopped. After they took back control for a couple of minutes or seconds or hours, and felt bad on what they did. But then Malik took control of them again, and and made their hands into these swords, which they used the swords to kill them, to kill the victims and get blood on them, of course. Next we have Agatha, the second enemy. Okay, Agatha once was a child, as you can see, that went to an elementary school. But probably on their way home or to somewhere, or over a water bridge, Agatha and her mom got into a car crash in the water because the bridge broke. But then she started to grow these black hands, and her jaw started to become black and wide. Her eyes became black. But then, besides black, she went back to the elementary school on the next day, and killed all of the kids inside the school, including teachers, and used the students and teachers as her own playhouse. But then when she heard that there was mortals coming, she always set it up like a little stage thing. And when she becomes angry, her clothes become red, and her eyes become red. Like, you see the white parts of her clothes? Yeah, they become red, as you can see in that little picture. But after the mortal goes away, I think Agatha must also be being controlled of Malik. I can't talk today. Malik. I'm just gonna say Malik now. Then we have the Gold Watchers, which are statues. But to me, those see like look at the Gold Watchers' clothes. They look like real clothes. So what I think is that all the Gold Watchers used to be human. Or mostly at least one. Like, example, this one. And a little curse from Malik got onto one of the people that was wearing these clothes. And changed them gold with the black eyes. But then after it became gold, he started to. Malik also made the statues all golden as all Gold Watchers as well. And then after the Gold Watchers were used to kill multiple people in a maze, but then also a mansion. The mansion also had lots of people and some Gold Watchers in it. That Malik used the Gold Watchers every Gold Watcher to kill inside and make the traps inside of the mansion. Next one before the last one, we have the Gremlin Clowns. Or mostly, as you can see down there, the Clown Gremlins. These guys, of course, played for shows as the gremlins that they are, and they're clowns. But then after Malik arrived, he started to make them way creepier. They started to kill, of course, multiple people inside of a circus. But then on a certain roller coaster that was built with giant gremlin clowns, and he started to take control of them. Malik started to take control of the giant gremlin clowns and made them move. And of course, they were bright, as you can see right there. Mostly that one, the goth clown, is what they look like. Let's just say they're huge. Besides the goth gremlins, these little guys are fast runners. They have a whole section, and of course in each little story there is the ring piece, of course. That should be obvious, which I don't even need to say it actually, but I did. Besides the ring piece, is the gremlins, and of course killed. They have traps as well, like the cannons, and more stuff. And then Malik shows up near the end at the carnival, where you actually get a hammer to hammer the clown gremlins and the goth clowns. And then after you destroy all 4 goth clowns, you have to make an escape to the portal. Oh, and then you finish. Next we have the nurse, which has a giant needle, of course, and a bag over her head. But mostly the girls, yes, there are multiple nurses, but the girls were nice, of course. The girls were helping people, and then after Malik took over, they start to stab every soul inside of the hospital that they were in. They added lasers for traps, which I think is really weird for a hospital, but okay. And they are actually called the Reaper Nurse, which I think is weird. Was a little weird name, but okay. But then, besides this nurse, we have this probably incomplete nurse, which is still incomplete, which the Molter, I'm pretty sure that's the name. And I think that the developers of the Molter are actually getting ready to have this one maybe as a boss fight. We're not going to go over that model, that little triangle model. That'll be in another story. The last one you might be weird of, it's Beers. Now, the reason I am doing like a little story of Beers, because I'm doing this because she has her own role inside of the storyline. Beers was a nice person and out in the real world until Malik saw her and took her to a demonized ballroom where everyone was. But then she found a ring. She found a strange power called the ring, the full-on ring, like the Ring of Souls mostly. After she grabbed it, probably everyone went into their portals and locked it up. But then when Malik saw it, Beerus made the place good. And after her Beerus made the ballroom good, she had the biggest power that she can lock Malik out of the ballroom. Then she set up a ring altar, but then she noticed that she was trapped and the ring broke. But then the mortals came. And then after the mortals came, she wanted them to help her escape. and that, but then after, but every he one failed. She, but then one mortal came. And he started to complete every portal. And then Beerus was able to escape with the mortal. And she is so pleased on the mortal that she gives the mortal one thing that he wants. And so that is my little story. Go subscribe to my brother, which is Clayton. He has more subscribers than me. But I want this video to get to I want my channel to at least get to 10 subscribers. Then I won't quit YouTube. So, yeah. Bye.